Today, our epic Japan journey dives deeper into the heart of Kyoto, exploring the timeless streets and sacred temples of southern Higashiyama. From the breathtaking wooden stage of Kiyomizu-dera, overlooking the city below, to the preserved stone paths of Sannen-zaka and Ninen-zaka. Every step through Kyoto feels like walking through living history. We will wander through ancient temple grounds at Ryōzen Kannon with a gigantic outdoor statue of Guan Yin. Plus, we step through the massive Sanmon Gate at Gion-in Temple and witness the largest bronze bell in Japan. We continue our exploration and stand beneath the towering gates of centuries-old shrines at Yasaka Jinja and experience the quiet beauty that makes Kyoto unlike anywhere else in the world. And as evening falls, we'll explore the glowing lantern-lined streets of Gion and Pontocho, where old Kyoto still lingers in the narrow alleyways, wooden storefronts, and soft light of the night. This is Kyoto at its most timeless. Let's begin. Good morning. Good morning. The morning in Kyoto began slowly and quietly at our Airbnb in the Fushimi Ward district.
Resting my legs for the day.
To prepare for the day. After 3 consecutive days of day trip excursions from Kyoto, it felt good to ease into the day instead of rushing out the door. Once everyone was ready, we made our way to the train station and headed toward one of Kyoto's most iconic landmarks, Kiyomizu-dera Temple. After stepping off the train, the journey uphill toward the temple became an experience all on its own. The narrow streets leading up the mountain were lined with beautifully designed storefronts, traditional wooden facades, and elaborate window displays that seemed carefully curated. Every few steps, there was something else pulling our attention away from the climb. Souvenir shops overflowing with handmade crafts and kimono-clad visitors weaving through the streets added to the energy of the morning. Even though we arrived early, the area was already beginning to fill with people. We are climbing up to our first Buddhist temple. Or is this a shrine? No, it's a temple.
I think it's a temple. I check.
I get it all mixed up now. The popularity of Kiyomizu-dera was immediately clear. Visitors from all over the world moved steadily uphill along the stone pathways, cameras clicking, conversations echoing softly between the old buildings. Yet, somehow, despite the crowds, the atmosphere still felt distinctly Kyoto, historic, elegant, and alive.
Tell us what we're seeing.
We are seeing the Clearwater Temple, or the what is it? Kiyomizu.
Yeah, there. Wait, it's it's very crowded. Whatever.
Kiyomizu-dera Temple.
It's up on the hillside.
Yeah.
It's like the beginning of the the path that connects a bunch of temples in this section. Very, very popular, as you can tell.
Yes, very popular.
It's going to be a holy day.
As we continued climbing higher into the hills of eastern Kyoto, the massive temple complex slowly revealed itself above the trees. Founded in the year 778, Kiyomizu-dera is one of the oldest and most celebrated Buddhist temples in Japan and has been designated as part of Kyoto's UNESCO World Heritage Sites.
So I do it again. Beautiful ticket. Great for like a bookmark.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, I love them. I love them. Multifunction. Kiyomizu Temple.
The name Kiyomizu translates to pure water, named after the sacred Otowa waterfall that flows beneath the temple grounds. For centuries, visitors have come here to drink from its streams, believed to grant health, longevity, and success. The temple is perhaps most famous for its enormous wooden stage that projects outward from the mountainside without the use of a single nail in its construction. Suspended high above the forest below, the terrace offers sweeping panoramic views across Kyoto that change dramatically with every season. In autumn, the surrounding maple trees erupt into fiery reds and oranges. Standing there, surrounded by centuries of history and the steady flow of visitors moving through the temple grounds, it was easy to understand why Kiyomizu-dera has remained one of the spiritual and cultural symbols of Kyoto for over 1,000 years. By the time we finished exploring Kiyomizu-dera, the quiet morning atmosphere had completely transformed. The pathways that felt calm earlier in the day were now inundated with movement and the steady flow of tourists. With hunger beginning to set in, we slowly made our way back down the hillside through the historic streets below the temple, searching for the perfect place to stop and recharge. The walk itself felt like an unique experience. Traditional wooden shops lined the stone pathways. As we continued downhill through the bustling lanes, we finally came across exactly what we had been looking for. Tucked along the hillside was a sushi restaurant overlooking the city below, offering panoramic views stretching across Kyoto's rooftops and distant mountains. It was the perfect place to pause. Inside, the atmosphere was calm and welcoming, a peaceful contrast to the busy streets outside. The restaurant offered several beautifully prepared lunch sets to choose from, each carefully arranged with fresh sushi, seasonal side dishes, soup, and delicate presentation that reflected the artistry of Japanese cuisine itself. After hours of walking, climbing hills, and weaving through crowded streets, The meal felt incredibly satisfying. It was also a moment to slow down, rest our feet, and simply take in where we are. With hunger satisfied and our batteries fully recharged, we stepped back out into the historic streets and continue to our next destination.
The Wagyu beef.
Delicious, tender, melts in your mouth.
Leaving the restaurant feeling refreshed and fully recharged, we stepped back out into the historic streets of Sannen-zaka and Ninen-zaka, two of the most charming and recognizable lanes in all of Kyoto. The atmosphere here felt almost storybook-like. The traditional wooden buildings leaned gently along narrow stone pathways, while rows of small shops invited visitors inside with colorful displays of handcrafted souvenirs, tea, and local snacks. The streets themselves were dotted with kimono-clad visitors, but also carry historical significance. The names Sannen-zaka and Ninen-zaka literally translate to 3-year slope and 2-year slope. According to local legend, falling on these stone paths was once believed to bring bad luck or shorten your lifespan by 2 or 3 years, depending on where you stumbled. As we continued descending through the winding stone paths, the scenery slowly shifted from lively shopping streets to quieter temple grounds, offering a peaceful corner tucked away from the crowds. Eventually, we arrived at our next destination, Ryōzen Kannon. Towering above the surrounding landscape stood the massive white statue of Kannon, the Buddhist goddess of compassion. Built in the years following World War II, as a memorial dedicated to those lost in the conflict, the site carried a noticeably quieter and more reflective atmosphere compared to the busy streets we had just left behind. The transition felt distinctly Kyoto. One moment surrounded by lively shops, sweets, and tourists. The next, standing in silence beneath a towering symbol of peace and compassion. We continued onward toward our next destination, Chion-in, one of the most important and impressive temples in all of Kyoto. The walk there turned out to be an unexpectedly relaxing part of the day. Leaving behind the towering Kannon statue, we passed through a beautiful park filled with carefully manicured Japanese gardens. A quiet pond reflected the afternoon light, while curved stone paths guided visitors past trimmed trees and an elegant bridge arching gently over the water. The atmosphere felt calm and restorative, like Kyoto offering us a quiet immersion between temple visits. By this point in the day, the miles of walking, stone staircases, and uphill climbs were definitely beginning to catch up on us. Our feet were feeling every bit of Kyoto's historic terrain. So, we spotted a nearby cafe. It immediately felt like the right decision to stop and recharge again before tackling the next climb.
Camera on.
It's the perfect pill. Let me see how it tastes. It's so creamy and rich. I love it. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Yummy, good.
I still want to find sesame.
We'll find it. We'll find it.
Eventually, re-energized and ready to continue, we made our way toward the massive staircase leading up to Chion-in, and almost immediately, the scale of the temple became apparent. Approaching the complex, we passed beneath the enormous Sanmon Gate, one of the largest wooden temple gates in Japan, towering nearly 80 feet high and stretching over 160 feet wide. The gate felt less like an entrance and more like an architectural mountain standing before us. Built entirely of wood during the Edo period, its massive beams and layered roof lines showcase the incredible craftsmanship of traditional Japanese temple construction. Founded in the 13th century, Chion-in serves as the head temple of the Jodo sect of Buddhism, one of Japan's most influential Buddhist schools. The temple was established in honor of the monk Honen, who taught that enlightenment could be attained through devotion to Amida Buddha. At the top, the temple grounds opened into an expansive complex of wooden halls, gardens, pathways, and prayer spaces spread across the hillside. Despite its massive scale, there was still a quietness of the atmosphere. The sound of footsteps softened against the wooden walkways, while distant temple bells echoed faintly through the air.
Why, baby, why? Why, baby, why? Why, baby, why? I just wanna know.
One of the temple's most famous features is its gigantic temple bell, one of the largest in Japan, weighing over 70 tons. Traditionally, it requires a team of monks to ring it during New Year ceremonies, a ritual that has continued for centuries.
This is the biggest bronze bell in the entire Japan.
Really?
Yes.
Well, you can actually see that.
What do you think?
Very impressive. What else can I say?
I need more commentary. I need more sound bites.
The big bell. It's a big bell.
You ring my bell, ding dong ding.
Oh, right. It's perfect.
Standing there surrounded by centuries-old architecture, towering wooden structures, and the calm rhythm of temple life, it was impossible not to feel the weight of history embedded into every beam and stone. Kyoto, once again, had a way of making even exhaustion feel meaningful. After exploring the grand temple grounds of Chion-in, some of us went shopping at Takashiyama, Japan's luxury department store, and the rest of us continue making our way to our next destination, Yasaka Shrine. But before we got there, something else caught our attention first. A small cafe along our path serving black sesame ice cream. And there was absolutely no way we were walking past that without having some. We grabbed our ice cream, found a place to sit, and took another much-needed break while the city continued moving around us. The black sesame flavor was rich, nutty, slightly roasted, and unlike anything we usually come across back home.
And the verdict is?
It's good.
It's good. Okay.
You're very good.
Okay.
Refreshed once again, we continue onward as the atmosphere around us slowly began to shift from quiet temple grounds to a more lively and energetic part of Kyoto. Soon, the large vermilion gate of Yasaka Shrine came into view. Yasaka Jinja is one of the city's most important and beloved Shinto shrines. Originally founded over 1,300 years ago, hundreds of lanterns hung across the main dance stage, each one bearing the names of local businesses and sponsors. At night, when illuminated, the entire shrine glows with a warm, golden light that gives the area an almost cinematic atmosphere. Unlike many temple complexes hidden in quiet forests or mountain hillsides, Yasaka Shrine felt deeply connected to the life of the city itself. Locals passed through casually on their way home. Visitors stopped to pray, ring bells, and draw fortunes. The boundary between sacred space and everyday life seemed to blur together naturally here. Leaving Yasaka Shrine behind us, we continued walking deeper into the evening streets of Kyoto, heading toward the famous Gion district. As we approached the river, the atmosphere of the city began to transform once again. Daytime slowly faded away, replaced by the softer glow of evening lanterns and storefront lights reflecting against the water. The pace of the city changed with the setting sun. Along the riverbanks, people gathered to relax and enjoy the cool evening air after the warmth of the day. A street performer was juggling for tourists and locals out for an evening of fun. Walking beside the river felt peaceful after spending the day weaving through crowded temples and busy shopping streets. It was at this point when the group reassembled and we all continued further into Gion.
Hello. We're going into the little streets. The Gion district. Yeah. The tiny, small streets. You've seen this, right? Yeah. This is a very, very classic, quintessential Kyoto small streets. We hope to spot some geishas. The lamps are lit. It's sunset. It's very atmospheric. And here is a placard that talks about it.
As the scenery became even more atmospheric, traditional wooden machiya buildings line the narrow streets, while paper lanterns glow softly outside restaurants and tea houses. Small alleyways branched off into hidden corners of the district, each one seeming to lead deeper into old Kyoto. The sound of conversations, distant laughter, and clinking dishes drifted gently through the evening air. Known as Kyoto's most famous geisha district, Gion has preserved much of its historic character for centuries. The area is known for its traditional tea houses, exclusive dining establishments, and occasional glimpses of Gaiko and Maiko, Kyoto's geisha and apprentice geisha, moving gracefully through the streets between appointments.
Walking, strolling, taking it all in.
There was something about the lighting, the architecture, and the rhythm of the evening that made the district feel almost dreamlike. Not flashy, not loud, just quietly beautiful. The deeper we wandered into Gion, the more Kyoto seemed to reveal its nighttime personality. A city of shadows, lanterns, reflections, and hidden alleyways where history still feels very much alive. At the end of our stroll through Pontocho, one small bar tucked along the narrow alley suddenly caught our attention. Oddly enough, in the middle of historic Gion, it was completely Mexican themed. Curious, we stepped inside.
From the first moment I saw you, I knew I had to make you mine.
The place was tiny. The six of us practically filled the entire bar the moment we walked in.
Kanpai, 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 kanpai. There you go. All right.
But that only made the experience feel even more memorable. The atmosphere was warm, relaxed, and personal, like stumbling into a hidden neighborhood spot halfway across the world. We ordered drinks, rested our exhausted feet, and spent time talking and laughing after a long day of exploring Kyoto. Before long, we were chatting with the bartender and the owner. It was one of those random travel moments you never planned for, yet somehow becomes one of the memories you remember most clearly later on.
Is it warm in here? He has to be somewhat conscious because he's our tour guide.
Yeah, we'll cut him off now. We need him to get us back home. We can figure out how to get him.
Oh, I think you can get back home. I hope you get back home. Oh, I'm on? Yes, you're on. You've been on. Cheers to a good day. Cheers to Kyoto. Cheers to Kyoto. Kanpai, kanpai, kanpai.
Leaving the little Mexican-themed bar behind,
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We stepped back into the evening streets of Gion, feeling like we had just experienced one of those unexpected travel moments that can't be found in any guidebook. The drinks were good, the conversation was better, and somehow 6 travelers from America spending an hour with a local bartender in a tiny Mexican bar in the middle of Kyoto made perfect sense. With our spirits lifted and our stomachs reminding us it was time for dinner, we wandered through the commercial streets searching for a place to eat. The glow of restaurant signs filled the night and offered endless choices. And after several days of Japanese cuisine, we decided it might be fun to try something different. Eventually, we settled on a Middle Eastern restaurant. It's dinner time after drinks, after cocktails.
Cocktails are horrible.
We're having dinner. The menu promised kebabs, fresh naan, and a variety of other dishes.
Camera on.
Camera on. This is after our free dinner drinks.
We decided to stop at Persian food in Kyoto.
Right.
We're
Yes.
so international.
I know.
No, we're just confused.
Authentic Kyoto.
First we go to a Mexican bar in Kyoto.
Chicano Americano.
But the workers are all Japanese.
Yes. I think it's
American baseball.
it's good because we had a very authentic Kyoto luncheon.
Yes.
So we were mixing it up.
And the decor of this place is, how do I say? Laurel Hardy, to Elvis,
It's horrible.
to Michael Jackson,
To Michael Jackson.
Guitar.
and
To-
Lovely
Tigers.
chairs.
Yes. We know how to pick them.
When the food arrived, the naan immediately stole the show. Warm, soft, and fresh from the oven. It was easily the highlight of the meal. Unfortunately, the rest of the dinner never quite lived up to our expectations. Oh well, sometimes that happens when traveling. Not every meal becomes a culinary masterpiece. Not every restaurant becomes a hidden gem. Some simply become part of our story. It became clear that the food wasn't really the important part of the evening. What mattered was being there together, sharing another day in Kyoto, another meal around the table, another collection of memories added to our epic Japan journey that was already becoming unforgettable. As the night came to an end, we made our way back toward the train station, grateful for another full day of exploration in one of Japan's most remarkable cities. Tomorrow, we spend our last day in Kyoto a little bit differently. Instead of following a shared itinerary, each couple set off to explore the city at their own pace. Some chased history through castles and imperial gardens. Others searched for hidden shops, local markets, and quiet corners of the city. And some simply took the opportunity to slow down. For our final chapter in Kyoto, the city became ours to discover in our own way before coming back together for our last evening in Kyoto.
So says
There's thumbprints and fingerprints.
Boy, this is a rough crowd.
The bathroom
I would.
underneath the stairs. Like children of the corn couldn't fit into that thing.
But you know.
That thing. I actually was going to the bathroom and I turned on the air conditioner or the hair blower or the hand dryer. It's the blower.